Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Ken Mayer, President of GalaxSea Cruises and Tours, and I'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining our virtual kickoff event for our 2026 group travel programs. I'm excited to present this information to you today in our virtual format. We are broadcasting this through our Facebook page and our YouTube page. So however you have decided to join us, welcome. And I'm joined today with my great friend, Robin Piper from the Globus family brand. So welcome, Robin.
Thanks, Ken. It's so nice to be here. I always like to talk to your customers, no matter how we get to them. So this is a great idea. I love this.
Well, I'm very excited for this today, and I know we are doing some in-person presentations here later today. So excited to have you in and present this information in this format today. So some of you may not know Robin, but Robin would be our business development manager with Globus. She's certainly been a great part of our success here at GalaxSea, and maybe part of that is because of you, of course, but I also know your company has amazing travel products. We work together to help provide information to customers so they educate themselves about travel and help exploring the world. And I think maybe they're doing that in a better fashion when they do that through your company. So I really appreciate you taking the time out so we can help educate and inform our customers about your products. And I know we've both got a lot of experience in the industry, and I also know that we are both travelers ourselves, and I think we share that passion in helping people travel, providing them information so maybe they travel better. And so I think all those little things just make people happy travelers. And so I'm very excited about all this information. Your travel products, of course, with your Globus family brands. And then we're going to showcase some of our programs for next year that are connected with your products and your experiences, so people can now go see some of these places in the world with our nuances and maybe some of the trips have a travel host, and there's really a lot of words and phrases and things. I have this, but I think in simple terms, we're taking your product, this already fantastic little dessert, and we're putting our whipped cream and cherry on top of it from GalaxSea, and it creates this experience that has those memories of a lifetime, friendships that are new and you can cherish, and I really just want to stand up and broadcast how amazing that right there is. And I feel like everybody needs to get into this type of travel experience because it is very unique and it's very personal and very rewarding. And so that's really why we do our groups. That's why part of the reason we partner with you. And over the next several minutes now, we're going to talk about Globus. We're going to talk about those trips that we have laid out. We're going to talk about a special offer that helps people save money. And so I'm really excited. This is mostly about 2026, but I know we could probably still get some people on some stuff in 25. But we're really talking about 2026 and your product. So Robin, please let me stop talking. Take us into your world of Globus, of family experiences, your escorted tours, and your independent tour programs, because I know there's a lot of great stuff you have to share.
Well, thank you so much, Ken. And I think we do share a passion for travel. And we share that with your staff as well. You know, they really take great pride in crafting a great experience for every single traveler. And that really makes a big difference. If you have somebody who cares about your vacation from the first time you call them to the very last minute when you return back home and you tell them about your great vacation experience, that makes a difference. And with Globus, we've been doing this for 97 years. So we take great pride in giving you a great vacation at a great value. You will save money when you're putting your package and putting your vacation through through GalaxSea and through Globus. So we've taken all that worry out of planning a vacation. So we want to make sure that everything, we're a Swiss company. So we want to make sure everything goes like, like clockwork. And so every detail is planned out so that you don't have to worry about that. Things like the hotel being in the heart of the destination, having sightseeing, we take you in before it opens to other people, or we've got that VIP experience so that you don't have to stand in line to do those experiences. Those are things that they might sound simple, but you're saving yourself time and effort because now you're going to have more free time because you weren't standing in line to do that sort of thing. We're also able to give you some behind the scenes kind of experiences with our local favorites. And those are some of the best memories. Sometimes they're not the things that you book the trip for, but they're the things that you remember the most. It might be, if you're going to Ireland, for example, it might be making scones by hand at Rathburn Farms and then coming back when they just came out of the oven and putting that Irish cream butter on top and some homemade jam. What a great way to start a morning, right? So there's just these little things that we've curated over time that we know will make your vacation special. And I can't say it enough how proud we are that Ken and his team have decided to partner with us again this year on several vacations. And so we want to make sure that we have someone with you from beginning to end with our Globus packages. That's your tour director. We have professional drivers for you, and they take care of you every step of the way. And then sometimes you even have one of those great hosts from GalaxSea that's even there to give you an extra level of comfort and experience. So whether you're doing one of our fully escorted trips or whether you're doing something that has more independence, where maybe you just have one of our guides that is there for you at the beginning of your stay, say in London, and you're there for a couple of days, you've got their phone number because you feel really, like you want a more independent kind of vacation. They can help you with some excursions and kind of give you the lay of the land in London and then take you on to the next city and you have a different host. That's another way that you can travel with us. So we actually have 12 different styles of travel. Those are our two most popular, but we want to make sure that we get you to the right place in the right style of travel. And that's something that we take great pride in. And I know Ken and his team love to match people up with the right vacation. So that's just a little bit about our different styles of travel. Was there anything anything specific you wanted me to talk more about, Ken?
Well, I think we can recognize some of the value that your Globus brand might bring versus some of your competitors, and then you have this kind of value focused Cosmos brand. But really, I think people need to understand both of those programs. If you do the escorted version, they both have that tour director. They both have that schedule and that crafting of itinerary that makes the trip hassle free and still builds in some of those experiences that people talk about. And so I know from my perspective, I talk a little bit about, well, what's the difference between Globus and Cosmos? And it's to me, it's measurable in maybe your accommodations are a little different, a little more value focused, a little more first class focused with Globus, a little more value focused with Cosmos. And there's a wide range of reasons that could be. It could be location, it could be overall quality. But even the lower priced Cosmos hotels are still clean, comfortable, quality hotels. It's not like you're getting, a poor choice of hotel. There could be some location difference. There's definitely a price difference in that accommodation. And then the other thing that I think is a real bonus with Cosmos is they tend to build a little bit more free time into the plan that
Yes.
really allows people to kind of go, maybe so many different ways we could talk about this, but I could say you might go back to a place that you've been, but
Yes.
you're more comfortable having this schedule and program and tour director. But now on the day that the rest of the group is going to go, the Vatican's in the news this week, so let's just talk about the Vatican. Well, they're going to go do the Vatican because
Mhm.
they've not been to Rome. And I could say, well, wait a minute, I've been to Rome, I've been to the Vatican. I would like to go check something else off my list. I have
Right.
choice and the time to do that. Or,
Right.
you could look at it as say, well, I'm not paying for the Vatican and then choosing not to go. I actually haven't paid for anything. I have a free day or half a day or whatever it is to go pick something. So I might want to go make pizza and learn how to make pizza the Italian way,
Right.
or sit in a cafe and eat pizza, which probably sounds maybe a little better to me. But so I talk about the difference between those two, but I want people to recognize is they both have a great experience built in,
Right.
and we like both brands. We're not going to tell you that this one's better than that one. We're going to say there's a reason you would pick one over the other.
Right. And, one great example is maybe you did a med cruise before. And so you got kind of a sampler platter of a lot of different countries, but you fell in love with one particular country. That's a great reason to go back with Cosmos or back with Globus because you can get a deeper concentration of that country that you just got a little taste of. The other thing you mentioned was about our tour directors. I had the ability to be with one of our tour directors from England. She covers England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. And the way that she explained to me the difference and how she manages a Cosmos versus a Globus is say we're in Edinburgh and on a Globus tour, Edinburgh Castle would be included already. You'd walk up, she'd get the tickets and she'd pass them out and you'd go in with your local guide. If you were with Cosmos, you would still go to Edinburgh Castle. She would say, if you'd like to do Edinburgh Castle with me, it'll be X amount of pounds or whatever. Follow me and I'll get you in. But if you don't want to do the castle tour, we're very close to shopping. Here's a great shopping row for you, and you can find this, this, and this. Or if you'd like to do an afternoon tea, I can tell you, you just go down one block and go over 2 blocks, and you'll be at this restaurant or this tea room, and you can do that. Or if you want to do something else, here's another suggestion. Or you could go walk for a walk and you'll find this other activity and we'll all meet back here in X number of hours. And then we'll take the bus back to our hotel if you're ready. And if you're not ready, we'll do another transfer back to the hotel in about 3 hours. If you want to stay in Edinburgh, because maybe our hotel is a little further away because we're on a Cosmos tour, if you want to stay longer, here's how you get back to the hotel. You can either take the bus and here's the stop you're going to take, and here's how much it would cost, or you could do a taxi, and they can drop you off right in front of the hotel. So even though you've got a lot of choices, she or he, your tour director, will give you all the things you need to map it out to make sure that you get to do what you want to do. And so I thought that was just a really brilliant way to make sure everybody has the experience that they want to have. So Cosmos does give you that ability to kind of explore at your own pace. And I love that idea. So it really is a neat option for you because then
Well,
you aren't paying for
it,
things that you don't want to use.
and I think too that that is that peace of mind and hassle-free reason that you do that. And while there probably wouldn't be a language barrier in Ireland or England or Wales, imagine if you're in Italy or Switzerland and you have these language barriers and something arises out of the blue that
Mhm.
creates some logistical challenges, which happened with our trip last year when we were in Switzerland. We actually had a train cancel, but our tour director,
Yes.
she was like, well, I don't exactly know what our plan's going to be, but give me 10 minutes, wait right here, and we'll come back. And we ended up getting on, we had to take an extra train to get to where we needed to go. And so it was just, it became part of the adventure. But I mean, I had that. I, while I don't speak the foreign language very well, I know please and thank you and help. That's about it. I know all my people looked at me and go, what would we have done if we'd have been by ourselves? And I go, well, we would have probably been on our own,
Right.
and we probably wouldn't have gotten to where we needed to be because she was able to quickly get it resolved. And the communication within the tour, that you have access on how to reach them, and
Mhm.
hey, I want to go eat somewhere, and they know all the restaurants. It is the main reason that people need to do an escorted tour, is because of that person that is there holding their hand, giving them guidance, making them feel comfortable, and also showing them the way to showcase the beautiful countryside or mountains or experiences that the country has to offer. And almost all of them are local. I mean, most of your
Yes.
tour directors live where they are taking people, and so that is another huge reason. They have experience. Uh, they're not young, fresh out of college reading from a book. They actually grew
Right.
up here. Their family grew up here. It's really
Right.
what makes the difference for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. 20 years experience is not, uncommon. Multiple languages that they speak. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Right. It's fantastic. Well, and I know too, we're talking about really right now, we're talking about these land tour experiences. And I think with those, we've picked out a few that we're going to do
Yes.
next year, and we're going to talk about those next. And then we're also going to talk about a few that we're not doing necessarily as a hosted group, but they are fantastic programs that people should do. So, unless you had something else to add, Robin, on the escorted tour, I'll get right into what we're going to do.
Yeah. Let's talk about them. They're great trips. So I want to talk
Excellent.
about them.
Excellent. All right. So we have three hosted programs in which there will be you'll have your tour director from Globus or Cosmos, but we'll also have our hosted program where we're including the flights and the transportation and someone traveling with you from here, and then we'll be with you during the tour. We have three of those. The first one that will come up is the Greek Island Hopper, and that one will be in May. So next May, not next week, but next May, 2026. So May 12th through the 25th. And I think what I like, I have been able to do this tour, Robin, and I don't know if you have, but it is a fantastic way to see Greece.
Yes. Um, because you are doing a high speed ferry that'll take about 2.5 hours from Athens to Mykonos, and then you're on Mykonos for 3 days. So
Right.
you'll be able to be a local there, right? I think that's fantastic. And it's a very relaxing way to see the islands. And then you're going to go from Mykonos to Santorini, again, high speed ferry, about 2.5 hours, and then you'll do the 3 days there, and then we fly you back to Athens. So not to skip over what you do in Athens, but you'll have 2 nights in Athens at the beginning of the trip, and then another night in Athens. So you'll still get to see all the must-see sites of Athens, but the way that you get to see the islands is going to be very, one, easy to get to quickly, and then also just a good way to relax and enjoy the beauty of the islands. I love this tour. Everybody who I've sent on this tour has absolutely raved about it. So I'm
It,
so glad that you've got a group on this tour.
well, it's a fantastic trip. This was actually the first trip abroad that I took coming out of our COVID pause. Greece was one of the few earlier countries that opened up,
Yes.
and I said I gotta go. I need to go. And I think what I enjoyed most with the trip was I am an adventurer and an experiencer. I want to go do things. I want to smell the roses, drink the tea, eat the scone. I want to do all that. And so I do tend to find myself being very busy everywhere. I will save my relaxing trips for maybe some other time down the road. So right now, this is a tour that you can literally fill every day up, or you can do nothing.
Right.
And that's what I think is so fantastic about it, because you could go to the beach in Mykonos or Santorini and just hang out and do nothing if you wanted to. I chose to go, I took all the additional excursions that are offered. We went over to the island of Delos off of Mykonos. We went to on the island tour. We did actually end up going to one of the beaches. Mykonos is always famous for the kind of the party beaches, I guess. Well, we went to one of those during the daytime, though, not at night when it's a party scene. But it was great to see. And Santorini was just is a bucket list place for me. It's just always been one of those places I wanted to go to for that iconic scenery and the cliff and so having been able to go there, I was there once on a cruise ship, and then when I came back and spent 3 nights there, it is a different island when the cruise ship travelers are not in.
Yes.
And that's what this tour brings to the table, and that's what makes it magnificent. So, fantastic trip here. We do expect this one to sell out. We have our early bird people that have already, kind of get the wind of this stuff early. They've already been joining this. So if you have an interest here, you need to get on this one because it's gonna fill up. This also is a unique departure for us because we have your whole coach. So,
Yes.
so we're going to be able to take, I believe, up to 30 people, and it will just be our group. So it's like private,
Right.
but not customized. It's your program that is just lights out. So
Yep.
very exciting trip. I can't endorse this one anymore. And we still have more to talk about. So let me flip over here to our next trip, which will be our national park trip. And this one is so the Globus was the brand on the Greek Island Hopper. That's under the Globus brand. So the first class hotels, they're all very nice. When we're doing the national park tour, it's going to be under the Cosmos brand. And I don't know if you've done this tour, but I know when you go out west, and especially when you stay in these national park areas, you're either staying in the National Park Lodge, which is hard to get big dollars,
Right.
and to be honest, they're kind of just rustic accommodations. They have more of a name tag than maybe they have quality. Or
True.
you're staying off the park a ways in
Mhm.
a clean, comfortable, sometimes chain hotel, Best Western or
Right.
Comfort Inn or one of those. But those are all clean and comfortable, and they provide an excellent balance for this
Right.
incredible landscape that you're going to see in these parks. And this is a unique excursion or unique tour as well, because it is that national park focus tour. So I'm very excited about this one. We're going in July, and you're getting Grand Tetons, Yellowstone, and the Waterton Lakes, which is a glacier and Waterton Lake. So Glacier is very difficult to get into. If you've not tried to get into Glacier, you have to book your car ticket about a year out.
Yep.
And they're basically sold out for this year already. All the parking permits are pretty much sold out. And there's a handful they issue the day before, but then you've got to drive, you've got to navigate around. Let the Cosmos driver drive. Let the tour director give you all the information and immerse yourself in these beautiful landscapes and national park. It's a fantastic trip.
Yeah. And to your point, Ken, so just so you know, because some people are like, oh, I'll just do the national parks on my own. You are exactly right about the parking. I remember about the permits to get into the parks. They will turn individuals away before they would turn away somebody like us who has a yearly permit for all the different
Right.
parks. So it's very important, and not to belabor it, but I think it's crucial that if you go, you leave the driving to us so that everybody can see all the great scenery. It's super important. And I just think this is breathtaking. You're going to have wonderful photos, and it is really an amazing opportunity. So we certainly want to make sure that you get these beautiful photographs. We have great local guides that are going to be taking you through some of these, and then of course the park guides to give it that, all that extra information so that you know exactly what you're looking at and the history and all of that great stuff. So really something to take in for sure.
Definitely a great trip. That one is in July, which is probably the right time to go into these areas. You have most daylight. You'll have the warmest weather, and hopefully the wildlife will be abundant, which I know is never really guaranteed, but in Yellowstone, it just is all over the place. It's just amazing. So very excited for this particular tour. And then this fall, we're just doing the two iconic cities of Europe. And we built in a little bit extra stay around your program. Your program is normally 3 nights in each
Right.
city. And we've built some additional time in London and then some
Wonderful.
additional time in Paris. And the reason for that is so people can check all those little iconic things that they want to do, and we'll have the time for people to do this. So this is a fantastic excursion to two of my favorite cities. You'll get the Channel train experience between the Eurostar is the train. You'll get that experience between London and Paris. And we've got the extra time built in. So you can do all of those things. You can go up the Eiffel Tower. You can go to the Palace of Versailles. You can go to Stonehenge. You can even go to Canterbury Castle, which is an incredible
Mm,
experience. I was able to do that the last time because I had never had time before.
right.
And so I'm very excited for this particular tour as well. And then in the fall, the I think the weather is perfect
Yes.
because it's I mean it'll be in the 60s and 70s, and you still have some good daylight. You won't have any heat. And it's just a great way to experience both of these cities. And this is also a Globus program, so we have those great hotels in the
Right.
heart of London and in the heart of Paris, which of course is important.
And then one tour, one optional tour that you might not be aware of, that if you are a theater person, we do the West End show night, dinner and a show. So West End is their Broadway kind of center in London. So I don't know what shows we're offering for 2026 yet, but you have the opportunity. We have really, really good seats in the theater district. We usually offer two different shows. We do dinner beforehand, and then the Broadway style show, musical, or a play. Sometimes we do plays. But if that's something that you're interested in, you want to make sure at 90 days prior to departure that you purchase those tickets, that excursion, because they
Perfect.
are very popular. But
Excellent.
that is a great value, quite frankly. And I love this London and Paris for multi-generational as well. If you want to, take grandkids, or, if you want to take your adult children and do a mom getaway, or, friends going together. This is, like you said, a great time of year to travel, but also just so much that you can do. And I love that you're adding some time onto it. I think that'll be a real popular way to do this itinerary. So I'll be in London this time. Let's see, in October this year. So it's a fabulous time to travel
It,
to this region.
it's excellent. And I think too, with this particular tour, I know that Wendy and Shannon are going to be hosting it. And we talk about this a little bit where uh, I'm not going to say that their husbands wouldn't go, but they kind of have that, maybe that's not the trip for me. So why don't you go with your friend? This
Right.
this would be an excellent girls' trip. You have a lot
Absolutely.
of ladies that could go. You could, go with your sister, go with your grandmother, go with your granddaughter, go just mother-daughter. What a
Yeah.
great thing to experience. A lot of choices of things to do during your free time there, but then everyone's together as a group. You have the tour director, you have everything laid out so it's hassle free, it's safe, and it's two iconic places to go visit in Europe. So I'm really excited for this trip, regardless of who wants to go. I know I would be happy to go on it, but I can't go when they're going. Somebody's got to be here to work. So
Well, and with Wendy and Shannon going, I mean, how much fun is that going to be? I kind of want to go now too.
right, right. Well, and I know, and I think they have been I know they've been to Paris, but I'm
Yes.
not sure if they have done London. London might be a first for them. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that would
really
be fun.
excited for that. What a great trip to go on. And I will say, this is not the only other land tours, escorted tours that I would, you know, suggest. So I want to toss out a few destinations and some things that I want people to be aware of. If you didn't want to do any of these three that we're hosting, there are other fantastic trips that you offer that include that tour director, include all of those logistics, include all that hassle-free arrangement. You don't really have to go with us. If you can get yourself on a plane, we can have someone on the other end with the Globus family to receive you and get you
Right.
on that tour and make it very, very hassle. So I have some other things to suggest here. And of course, I will say you are on 6 different continents with your tours.
Yes.
You have the Globus brand, which also has these undiscovered tour options, the
Yes.
independent travel options, as well as the escorted tour options. And then you
Right.
have the Cosmos brand with its regular programs, but also these national park tours. So I think you probably have something for everyone.
We like to think so.
I
Yes.
would agree with that, but I have 3 destinations that I would like to pass along here. These are my top three. Take it for what it's worth. My number one choice is just because I came off this last year. It was the best tour I have ever been on. I couldn't believe how amazing it was, and that is Switzerland by rail. It is a Cosmos tour. It is breathtaking scenery. It's inclusive trains and hassle-free transportation and arrangement. Those unique train experience, the Glacier Express, the Golden Pass, the Bernini Express, all these unique train experiences that are in Switzerland. You learn about all the Swiss engineering, that created those tunnels and bridges and overpasses and unique stuff. And you go on the train everywhere. It is just an incredible trip. It's called Switzerland by Rail. It's a Cosmos tour. It's beautiful. You should go on it. It runs from about May through September, I believe. Uh,
Beginning of October. Yeah.
yes, and this, I mean, again, this is the best tour, Robin, that I've been on so far.
I love that you loved it. One of the great things, so if you're going as an individual joining a regular Globus group, or a Cosmos group, I should say, you have one car that is the entire group. So you'll have your tour director with you. They'll be with you every step of the way. We even take care of your luggage. We take it by truck to your next hotel. So you don't have to mess with your luggage. You just go each day and have this great train experience. And I know I talked to some of the folks who went with you last year, and they just raved about it. And everybody who goes on this, it's on my bucket list to do as well. Everybody loves this trip. So, I love that you came back and had such a great experience.
It's very good. So we all had that when we were younger, we had that I want to go backpack through Europe,
Yes.
and some did it. Most of us did not. I did not get to do that. But this is that experience because they take your bag literally from your room to the next hotel for you. You put your little backpack on with your water bottle and your snacks, and you walk a couple of blocks to the train station and you get on the train, and then you end up at wherever you're going after you've seen all that scenery for the day. You end up at the next hotel and there's your bag in your room.
Yes.
It's just, and it happened the whole tour. It was like, so now I have all my group that went with me. They expect that now on every trip. They want that luggage, VIP luggage service. So anyway, this is a trip that gives it to you. It's fantastic. But there's another trip that gives you that luggage service too, and that's Hawaii.
Yes.
As if Hawaii itself is not amazing enough. But you can go do a Globus or Cosmos, either one are great. You have hassle-free travel arrangements, logistics, the luggage assistance, and you get to visit multiple islands. Hawaii is an amazing treat, but going on a tour just makes it hassle-free. And you don't have to drive around and worry about a place to park and trying to see things. You guys have the drivers. It also
Yep.
builds a little bit of free time in for people to pick and choose what they wanted to do. It's really fantastic. Both brands are awesome here. The Globus would be maybe if upgraded accommodations,
Yes.
probably an extra, well, some meals, because
Yes.
the
Breakfast
Cosmos may
daily.
not have any meals, but and then a few more inclusions. The Cosmos is more about free time and giving you the islands, saving a few bucks, and then you can splurge it on things once you're there. So really, there's no wrong choice either way. You should just go to Hawaii, period, and go with Globus or Cosmos. And
Yeah. And
then my last recommendation, well, I guess it's really two destinations, but Ireland or Italy.
yeah.
I mean, you cannot go wrong with either. And I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what you would pick. There's probably some reasons that you would justify it, but I feel like if you could only go to two countries in Europe, as many as much as I was talking about Switzerland, I think Italy and Ireland are a must see. And so maybe do one this year and do the other next year. If you can do both in the same year, perfect. Maybe you could do one and then fly over to the other and do another one and then come home. And that
Yep.
we could make that arrangement. But both of those are excellent countries. Both the Globus and the Cosmos brand are outstanding. I don't have enough time to talk about Italy or Ireland. I would love to. I could talk an hour or more about both of them. They are must-see places. So go pick one of those. We'll go do them again. I just don't have them necessarily on my list yet for next year, but down the road, I think we'll do them.
Now, one thing that you did mention, Ken, I want to remind folks is once you travel with us, you get welcome back credits when you get home. So anywhere from $50 to $250, and then you can use those toward your next vacation. So to Ken's point, if you do Ireland 1 year, then you're going to get, when you get home, you get welcome back credits. You can put those toward your trip to Italy the next year. And if you do 2 trips back to back, we give you an extra discount for that as well. So we want to be mindful of, helping you out to come back and travel with us
Perfect.
again. Or if you book 2 big trips back to back, we want to help you out with that too. So we've thought of those things, and people do both of those a lot. So
Absolutely. And
keep that in mind.
you can kind of get the two for one if you think about it. You only have to
Yep.
buy one air ticket in Europe, and yet you get two trips or two countries or two experiences. So it's a great great way to do it. So wow, I feel like we've talked a lot there, and my brain's in tour overload. But we've got, listen, three great posted group programs for next year. I've given you these three or four, five other destinations and trips that you do that are just amazing. So I don't know if you have any other response to any of that tour stuff, Robin, but my brain's kind of like excited here with all those choices for
Yeah,
people.
I mean, this is the best lineup I've seen in a long time of vacation options between the 3 that are escorted and the other 4, destinations and itineraries. Really, a grand slam, if you ask me.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm not done yet, so hopefully you'll stick on. I feel like we saved the best for last.
Yes.
And while any of those land tours would be great and the destinations are great, I want to turn the page now over to Avalon, to this river cruise experience, this luxurious, inclusive trip experience. I just had the goosebumps go again when I start talking about this, Robin. It's just really crazy. I really do love it. We are doing a trip this year. I'm taking some people this year, 2025. It's been
Yes,
sold out for months. The
I
ship has
know.
been sold out for months. So I think maybe the only thing I can say about these river cruises is you've got to book them early. You can't
Absolutely.
wait. You've got to get your foot in the door and get that room set up. And what I want to hopefully you can present a little bit of information about Avalon that I think maybe will make people understand that you are maybe one of the best experiences out there. I know people probably see advertisements from hundreds of other river cruise companies, and I see them myself, and there's probably a lot of good in all of those. But I think you guys are the cream of the crop. I'm excited to learn more about what you have to say about Avalon. So take it away.
All right. Well, I do believe that we have more to offer than some of our competitors or all of our competitors, quite frankly. We're the ones who have the beds with the view, and you can actually see this right in your on your right hand side of the screen. This is our panoramic suite. 80% of our staterooms look just like this one. And that wall of windows that you see, that is actually 11 feet wide by 7 feet tall, and it opens 7 feet. So it brings the outside in. These staterooms are 30% larger than our competitors. So you have a living room area. You've got that seating area. So you've got a love seat, a chair, and a table that instead of having your room smaller because there's a balcony, we just made the whole room bigger. With that bed that faces the view, you can sit in bed and watch the world go by. We'll even bring you breakfast, lunch, or dinner with room service complimentary. And so really those staterooms have become the standard for us. And what I love about them is it's just this extra elevated level of luxury. And for me, when I think about luxury, I think about not being nickeled and dimed to death. I think about being able to be relaxed when I walk on board and not feel too stuffy and not have too many people. You'll notice that we have two sizes of ships, mainly in Europe. We have 128 passengers and 166 passengers. So we don't have big crowds. We have enough seating in our lounge areas for everybody to have a comfortable seat during entertainment. Oh, and do we have entertainment? Oh my goodness. We just launched for 2026. We will have what's called Avalon After Dark. So right now we have on an average 8-day cruise, we have 2 to 3 nights of live entertainment, usually a dance band one night and then some other musicians other nights. But we're adding DJ music and interactive well, karaoke, of course, and then some interactive games. But we're also changing a couple nights. We're going to have dinner up on the top deck instead of downstairs in the dining room. So we're really trying to make the nightlife scene a little bit more expansive. We're even doing meetups after dinner. So we have several cities where we overnight. So we don't leave that city. So you'll have more time to go back into port. But we're going to do meetups. So if people all want to go in to have a after dinner cocktail in town, we can do that. Or if there's a nightclub that people want to go to, we'll take a group over to do that. So we're just going to be facilitating more fun after dark with our groups and with everybody who's on board. So we're really excited about what is coming up new with Avalon, but we're so happy and so proud of what our ships are today. It's just a relaxed kind of elegance and luxury, but it's not too stuffy. And again, what I love is it's really hard to spend money when you're on board. And you've experienced that too, Ken. We have included excursions in every port. We have included beverage, so you've got sparkling wine at breakfast. You've got regional wine and beer and soft drinks included with lunch and dinner. We now have a complimentary cocktail hour. And we've also expanded. Like, I'm not a big wine drinker, but we have new non-alcoholic beverages. We've expanded that offering. And we also have zero proof alcohol and mixed drinks. So lots of different things going on, but all really fun things. So we want you to check out Avalon in 26 or in 2027. That'll be coming out soon. But the early bird definitely gets the worm because it has been so popular lately.
Yes, no doubt. Well, it's great, and thank you for that. And I know when we talk about this inclusive stuff, people people think, well, what does all that mean? So you mentioned you have the room service. Your breakfast,
Right.
lunch, and dinner is included.
Yes.
Your parking, your docking in the heart of all these little villages and cities along the river. So when you're done with your morning tour, you come back and you have lunch on board the ship, and then usually you might have free time in the city before dinner. And then now with some of the itineraries and routes, you change that up where, okay, we come into port at noon and the ship stays overnight. And I love that because as we've experienced more of these, we've gotten these little tastes of different things that happen at different times of the day,
Right.
and you coordinate that schedule in there. But I like to say it's your sightseeing, it's your accommodations, which are fantastic. It's
Yes.
your cruise director here instead of a tour director, but same thing. They're taking care of all the logistics, all your food, pretty much all your drinks. Though they're
Yeah.
if you want a cocktail that's outside of the free cocktail hour, well, then you're
Mhm.
going to pay a little bit, but it's very affordable. There's regional beers, regional wines. The food is elevated. You have choices. The menu changes featuring these regional specialties, but then it
Mhm.
changes every night, and you're seeing some iconic uh, sites and castles and villages all along these different waterways. And I know we most people think of river cruise, they think of Europe. There are other places in the world that you can do
Yes.
these things, and we're going to talk about a few of those. But I love the Avalon experience, and I love the rooms, and I love just that intimate atmosphere that is relaxed yet uh, luxurious and elegant. You don't have to dress up. It's very casual dress. Uh,
Yes.
you don't even have to do I mean, usually everybody's ready to eat because they've been exploring and doing things. Everybody's ready to eat when the dinner opens, but you can even come in a little bit later. You don't have to eat when it
Right.
starts. And now with your new choices, I know you've always had the bistro
Yes.
experience, and now having that open air dinner sounds very exciting. So can't wait to go again. And let's talk about our trip that we're doing next year. So we have our Avalon experience will be on the Danube next year. So it's called Danube Dreams, and this program will start in Budapest, and it will make its way along the Danube, visiting Vienna and several other fantastic cities. And then it will end with some hotel in Prague. So this is a little combination of land and cruise, but it's featuring the Danube, and which is an amazing river. And I know with our program, um, I have some people that say, well, why are we doing the Danube, or what other choices are there? So this trip for us is kind of a follow up from last year's trip that did the Rhine River. So the Rhine River and the Danube River, those are really in Europe. Those are the two to do. You can do one or the other, or there's even a trip where you can get both of them.
Hmm.
It's a longer trip, but you can get both of them. So our group that did the Rhine, of course, loved it, ready to go again, and so this is our follow up trip on the Danube, and it's going in August. So I don't know if you've noticed the way I kind of spaced all these trips out, just in case somebody wanted to do them all. I think they can probably hit all of these trips if they wanted to. And so the Danube is great, but listen, if you've never been before, you may have that iconic picture of all those castles, which is in the Rhine Gorge. There's like 92 castles in a 15-mile swath. The Rhine is a fantastic choice to consider. And again, this is an inclusive, hassle-free way to go. You don't have to go with us. We'd love for you to join our hosted tours and cruises. We know that they provide a little bit elevated experience, but if you said, I've always wanted to do the Rhine, I've got to go to the Rhine, that's the one I want to do, you would not go wrong by picking the Rhine River. It's a great choice to do. Rhine or Danube. If you come with us to Danube, then you can do the Rhine next year. That's the best way to look at it. And there are a couple of other choices that I would recommend. I one of them I have done. I have not done Egypt yet, but it's on my list. So the Paris and Normandy cruise in France is amazing. Having that historical day at Normandy and learning about that event and what led up to it and how uh, frankly how lucky the world was that it was successful. But it is an amazing tribute to have that. So that's included on your program. You also go to Giverny, which is the home of Monet and Monet's garden, and then of course Paris, which is just an incredible city to visit and so many things to do. So Paris, Normandy, outstanding. It's on the River Seine, and I can't recommend that enough. You could also add London to that trip and get that Eurostar, the Channel train, go the other direction. Go do the cruise and then go from Paris to London and end with a 3-night hotel stay in London, right in the heart of London. This is what we did. We had the London included. It was really a fantastic trip. So it's definitely high on my list to recommend to someone that hasn't done it. And then of course I got to talk about Egypt and Jordan. I mean, goodness, you want to talk about history and artifacts and that all that stuff just fascinates me. So I have had this on my list since I was a kid. I have not been yet. I'm hopeful that I get to go here pretty soon. And I know that when we do it, Robin, we're going to do it with the Avalon experience because we want to get that Nile cruise. And we also want to go to Jordan and see Petra and the historical stuff around that. So Egypt and Jordan, a fantastic trip to go on with very unique history and archaeological things to see. So what do you think of all that?
Great choices across the board. I mean, Danube Dreams is a really interesting itinerary. It has every stop is better than the next. Some day sailing, some overnights in port. So really very popular. And to your point, most people start with either the Rhine or the Danube. And this is a great way to start. I do love anything that is on the Rhine. So Amsterdam to Basel or in reverse. So you've got a lot of different choices if you want to do something on the Rhine. When it comes to Paris to Normandy, that was the very first itinerary I ever did 10 years ago when I joined the company. And it is a heartwarming trip. It is when you go step on the beaches of Normandy, it is a life-changing goosebump kind of situation. We have a historian that comes on board the day before you go to Normandy that kind of gives you that history review if you haven't been in high school government class for a while or history class. So, but it really is, it's an amazing itinerary. Not just because of Normandy, the whole thing is really a breathtaking experience. And then Egypt and Jordan, extremely popular, just 56 cabins on this particular itinerary. It's land and river. Obviously, there's some time that you're in Cairo, then you're going to sail on the river. And then we add on, of course, Jordan, staying at the Fairmont in Cairo, beautiful hotel, but you're going to have your tour director with you every step of the way. So it is, especially because there's so many artifacts and so much history, it is so important to have somebody that is there to take you through, to explain what you're seeing. You'll have historians with you, you'll have your local guides. So we definitely want to make sure that when you're there, you're learning about what you're seeing. There's so much, that you might miss if you didn't have those guides. So again, all four choices, top notch. So thank you. These are great picks.
I know. Well, and there are some other destinations and really there's a lot of different places to think about. But This experience is luxurious. It's a small ship. It's that
Yes.
intimate setting. It's very inclusive. It's high level of service. It is truly the best. But as much as I preach, don't take my word for it. Oh, I forgot I didn't scroll through my slides.
Here we
How
go.
about this? It is the best. USA Today has named Avalon Waterways the 2025 #1 best river cruise line. So congratulations, Robin. I think that's well deserved. I knew that it was good from my heart, but now I have someone else that I can lay the blame on and say, see, they agree with me. So anyway, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we take a great amount of pride when we win these awards, and we're always, we're always hoping for them, but when we get them, that is a great source of pride for the whole company. And we certainly thank the readers of Reader's Choice. But yeah, we're in our 21st year with Avalon. And we, just refreshed all of the ships. So you'll have new carpeting and new color schemes and things like that. But the great part about it is that all of our ships are laid out the same. So you don't have to relearn where things are. And that's great. It's always like you're stepping on board your home away from home. And that's really what we want it to be like. So
Right. Well, it's excellent. It's just one of my favorite experiences. So listen, we've talked about a lot of great places. We talked a lot about great tours. Let's kind of get to some money stuff. This is the good stuff. This is what everyone likes to save money. Everyone likes to plan. So here's what we got going on. We've got a 2-week window here that you could book any of your well, there are a few, I guess there are a few restrictions. So maybe we won't talk about the restrictions. There are a few programs that you do that have some restrictions on the dollars off.
right.
But the Avalon, the Globus, and the Cosmos, the regular programs, almost all of those. So any of our group programs, or if you said, hey, Ken, I want to do that Switzerland by rail tour you talked about, that all those would qualify. And you get a discount by booking early. You just have to put your deposit down. You don't have to pay in full like some companies ask. You just have to put your deposit down. And essentially, it's $50 off per person on a Cosmos program. It's $100 off per person on a Globus, and it's $150 per person off on an Avalon. So there's really some great savings to be had. They're going to be going on for a couple of weeks, so we encourage you to reach out to us. Come join one of our trips, our hosted trips. Come help us let you plan something specific for you and save some money. And you had mentioned this earlier about like when you go on a tour or cruise with you get a welcome back credit. So these discounts are in conjunction with your
Yep.
welcome back credits. They don't get, it's not one or the other. You get both of them. So if you have a welcome back credit, which we know many of our customers have, you can get the early booking savings here plus the welcome back credits applied to that. You just have to get booked and deposited by May 22nd to take advantage of the early booking offer. I will say after that date, you could probably still join one of our trips as long as we have space. But then the little bit of extra savings could go away. So this is why we're planning. This is why we're talking. So you can make your plans and get on a trip. So how do we join? How do we find out? What's that? Well, we make it really easy. If you get your phone out, you should be able to scan this QR code, and it would actually take you right to our list of groups. You can do more than one trip. So if you have multiple ones you want to do, you just select the ones you want, put your name and phone and email in there, and hit submit. It'll come into us, and then we'll follow up with you to get you squared away. If it's a different trip that you want, there is an option. You just say, I think it just says, I need help planning something else. You click that box and hit submit, and then we'll follow up and figure out where you want to go. So it's real easy kind of get your foot in the door and get the ball rolling so we can get you booked. And I don't know if you have anything else to add, but I guess I want to say thanks to everyone that's tuned in and stuck with us so far. I think you can tell from the information we've provided that Robin and I have a lot of passion for people traveling and traveling well and doing these things. Robin, I appreciate you sharing your insight with me and us, and we appreciate your partnership and your friendship, and we love the experiences that your company brings to the table for us and our customers.
Well, thank you. And we appreciate you and your team. And really, to anyone watching, traveling with a professional travel agent, and with the folks here at GalaxSea Travel, that's what we really hope for you. We want you to book with a professional and with people who are great partners of ours. So please don't hesitate to fill out that form, get more information, and join one of these fantastic groups, or plan another trip. But we would love to have you travel with all of us. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you all for tuning in. Please fill out our form or just give us a call here if you need more information or help. If you happen to be new to our company, we'd love to visit with you. Please give us a call. We'd be happy to set up a consultation appointment where we can maybe give you some more information and better direction to help you travel. So thanks again for tuning in. Have a great day. We'll look forward to seeing you travel soon.